Hello, my name is Joe, and welcome to another edition of Joe's Super Fantabulous PC Gaming Channel, where I'm here in Elder Scrolls Online. And at the time of this stream/recording, it is a special time. It is the Imperial City Celebration. So everyone is heading to the Imperial City to kill each other. Oh, whoopee. Well, that's not really my thing. I'm not that much of a PvC player. But you know what I do want are Skyshards. And, well, one of the things that's been annoying is trying to get Skyshards in PvP areas. So, I've already run through the Imperial City on another occasion and picked up all the Skyshards. However, it occurred to me that if all the killers are heading to the city, that means that the countryside will be left largely untouched. So all the people that I would normally encounter in Cyrodiil, perhaps I can avoid them and go out and gather Skyshards. Now, this is a special stream because the video that you're watching of my character here queuing up for Cyrodiil is not live. So you're scratching yourself, well, Joe, you're on Twitch. Why is this not live? Or if you're watching this later on YouTube, it's recorded anyways. The reason is stream sniping. So I like to talk about where I've been, not where I'm going, or where I am. So this is from last night at the time of this stream. So the first night of the Imperial City Celebration, it occurred to me, you know what? I bet they all went in the city to go kill each other, which means Skyshards for me. And the nice thing is that Aldemary Dominion was kicking furry butt last night. So hordes of Khajiit roaming the countryside, murdering anyone without a tail. Oh, it's such a beautiful thought. Or, ones with scales, because they don't count. And so, a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So here I was taking a look, and I'm not that familiar with Cyrodiil, so I knew that there's ways to fast travel within the zone, but I'd never done it before. And I knew that there were Skyshards scattered around the place, but again, I'm not that familiar with the zone because I normally don't hang out here. There are other players that really enjoy PvP. For me, it's just kind of a headache. Going to the Imperial City has just been a non-stop gang fest, and that was on a good day. I can't imagine what it must be like right now, so I'm not worried about getting tickets for berries or anything else like that. I just want my Skyshards. So, I'm looking around here at all the different places, and, well, now that I see where I am, down here in the lower right of the map with the Aldemary Dominion, it's time to strike out and start to find some Skyshards. Yeah, unfortunately, none of my friends got to join me for this. This was completely unplanned at the time. It's just, I had like a little epiphany. I was like, oh, bet you they all went to the city. And so I did. The only one I told about it was the old lady gamer. I was like, hey, OLG, you want to go to Cyrodiil? She's like, oh, she doesn't really like PvP. So she was envisioning it being like a gang fest. And I was like, no, they're all gone. She's like, I don't feel like it. I was like, okay. So I went ahead and went by myself, and so this is just me having fun, zipping through the Cyrodiil zone and grabbing as many Skyshards as possible while the coast is clear. Gala, if you want, I can jump into the guild Discord. You're welcome to join me. Maybe you have some tips for us on Cyrodiil. Okay, so basically I'm here hunting around on the map. Since I'm not that familiar with the Cyrodiil zone and how things work, all of this is new to me. So I'm zipping about, looking for things, and trying to figure out where I can go in order to pick up these various different sky shards. And by extension, I'm also looking for lore books.
Hello.
Oh, hey Kawa, how's it going?
Good.
Well, if you're watching the stream, you can see I had the epiphany. Remember we were talking about, getting the sky shards in Cyrodiil. It occurred to me yesterday, I was like, oh, they've all gone to the city. This is the perfect time. And then I looked at the map, and the Ultimary Dominion has like most of Cyrodiil at the time, and I was like, this is absolutely the perfect time. So I was running around last night just grabbing sky shards.
Yeah, I was already, when I saw that you were going to Cyrodiil, I was already writing on chat that stream sniping before you said that it was recorded last night.
Well, that was what I thought of. And, I thought, because at the last night I was thinking, hey, I could stream this. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Nah, I should just record it. So I'll show you where I've been and how it turned out, but you won't know where I am, at least not when I'm in a PvP zone. Because I have watched other people stream where they get stream sniped.
It's so sad to stream snipe people. I just don't understand what's fun with that. Same thing before I went to work this morning. It was so good. Let me grab my popcorn time. Some girl was complaining on Facebook that what people does now during this Imperial City event, they camp on quest givers and they gank people. So basically it's 100% impossible to do daily mission to get daily done. So they have to do in insane time those when people are not there.
So you have to do your dailies as a raid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well then I guess I'm not missing anything in the city. Yeah, I was planning on basically just ignoring the event. If I see any berries that I want to get, I'll just buy the darn ticket at this point.
Luckily, I was wise during last event, and I didn't use my 10 event tickets to get that. I think I missed 2 fetters. So I can 100% completely ignore this event. I don't have to do anything. Of course, I could do either Imperial City Prison or White Gold Tower, but they are DLC dungeons, and I don't really want to do DLC dungeons on bug groups.
Oh, we could always see if we can put together a guild group for that.
Yeah, sure. Well, ICP is not that difficult. Well, they are easier easier DLC dungeons. I guess we could get group together if people just want to do it.
Well, what I was thinking is that since you're familiar with those dungeons, you'd be able to talk us through it and say, okay, be aware this boss does this, and stay out of this, and when you see this, don't do that, and
yeah. I was just thinking there is I can't remember which dungeon's final boss. It's not really complicated mechanics. It's just there is like some sort of mages, which basically I think they gives like a shield to the boss, and you have to kill them. It's pain in the ass to do on a melee because they explode. I doubt they one shot on normal, but they are going to hurt anyway. By the way, looks like on last patch, Sauce messed up one of Thieves Guild storyline quest.
Oh no! Darn, you know, I still have not finished the Thieves Guild storyline. Which one is screwed up?
Let me see. That which was lost. You have to pickpocket a bounty hunter, but you cannot interact with that bounty hunter, so
Haven't gotten to that one yet.
progress is blocked.
Well, hopefully they hotfix that soon, if that's going to impede the main story quest.
Yeah, someone posted bug report on bug report forum, and they SAS already said that they are going to fix it on next patch, which is apparently next week.
Well, it's like the bug song, you know, take one down, patch it around, you know,
Yeah.
add a few more bugs to the code. Well, has that been the only major bug for this patch? I mean, largely everything seems to be going well. Although I was a little disappointed. I did not realize that they were changing the sorcerer's skill, because there's one crystal skill that has a stun, and that became a weapon buff instead of a ranged ability, and it just got changed on all the characters. And I was like, ah! I was using it on quite a few of my tunes because I loved, you know, the stun feature that it had, and I would just spam that, and you know, you'd hit something, it would get knocked down, and then you just pound it to death.
And it's also, I think it's AoE, some sorcerer bomb builds used that skill. So
yeah, I guess I wasn't the only one who enjoyed it. Maybe a little too much.
yeah, there was some complaining about that change.
Yeah, for me, it was a great skill. I loved it.
I haven't really used that morph. I usually use crystal fragments. Crystal fragments also used to stun, but buffed damage plus stun was maybe a little bit OP, so SAS took that stun component away, and it was only on, I think it was Crystal Blast, that other morph.
Yeah, the nice thing about that stun is, at least for me, it made it a little easier to solo PvE, because you know, I'd have something bad coming at me, and so I would focus on the worst thing and just kind of suppress it while the pets picked off all the other things, and then, you know, finally kill the bad thing that I was holding down.
Well, you have other options too. You could use wait a second. What's that skill called? I can't remember what base morph is. Oh wait, destructive touch. And if you use morph it, that one with shorter range, I think that one stuns.
Yeah, the bad thing is that's a
stun component.
I think that's a staff skill, though. What was really attractive about the sorcerer skill is that as part of 27, they made some changes to some of the gear sets, and one in particular, the innate of Axiom, gives you a nice bonus to class-related abilities. And so I was looking forward to using that. It's like, all right, this thing hits like a tank now. And now with a full innate of Axiom set, you know, you get this damage bonus. So that's when I'm going to end up having my Magicka Necromancer use until I get something better. as the innate of Axiom set. So, because she's always, you know, lobbing skulls and blast bones, basically all the abilities, and she only uses her staff to recharge her magicka. So she'll get all this extra damage now for everything that she hits. But I'll wait till 50 to craft her a set, because she's pretty close to getting there. So right now she's just running around here in a mix of Cold Harbor and Seducer. Well, I think she's got 2 pieces of innate of Axiom, but I'll switch to 5 when she gets to 50.
Yeah, innate Axiom is very good. That
You know, and for the longest time, I called it Initiate of Axiom because I wasn't paying attention. I only saw like a couple of letters, and I was assuming it was Initiate, and so I've got facepalm. I actually read it the other day. I was like, oh, wait a minute, it says Innate of Axiom. Why did I call it Initiate? I wasn't reading it, so I was assuming that that's what it said. So
yeah,
anyone who sees this in the future and like, man, I hated all those videos where you called it the Initiative Axiom. I was like, okay, I finally noticed it. I got a hard head. I saw it eventually. Sorry about that.
yeah. I'm leveling now my mag blade on NA to 50. So I found this very good Magicka Night blade build from Hack the Minotaur, which uses, I
love that guy's videos.
innate Axiom and War Maiden. My DPS ramped up by 10,000 when I switched to War Maiden innate Axiom combo. It's freaking awesome build.
Yeah.
And when I learn to play properly that build, oh my god, I might even start to do DPS veteran dungeons. Or veteran dungeons as DPS. Yeah.
Well, that's that build that Hack the Minotaur showed is the one that I'm going by for my Magicka Nightblade that I'm going for the big bounty with. Because I had never really played a Nightblade before, and so this will be my first time trying one out. And so after I saw this video, I was like, wow, that looks like a lot of fun, so I figured I'd give that a try. But no, yeah, his videos where he talked about gear changes for Update 27 is where I was like, oh wow, innate of Axiom is getting that much of a buff. I guess that's what I'm going to use for characters that use primarily class abilities because of the extra damage that it gives them. So, you know, my Sorceress was using primarily class abilities, you know, so is my Necromancer. Some of my other characters, like, you know, the Stamina characters, they're using primarily weapon abilities, so it doesn't really benefit them as much.
Yeah, thing is with some of stamina races, you really, not races, classes, you kind of have to use weapon abilities. Well, now, I was just thinking, there isn't even, well, there is class spammable, I think, on every, no, well, I guess Stamina Dragon Knight kind of have stamina class spammable, but what I heard, it's not very good.
Yeah, I always like to try and find spammables.
It would be so easy to just convert a second more of whip to stamina ability, like poison whip or something, to mirror, because Dragon Knights are all about poison and fire, so flaming whip And Poison Whip would be very good. But, I don't know.
Yeah, I still need to play more of a Dragon Knight. I have one, but I have not played her all that much. Still learning that class, I guess. I've had just so much fun with the Sorcerer and the Necromancers.
Yeah, I haven't either played that much like a DPS Dragon Knight. As tank, I have played so much more.
There is one DPS Dragon Knight. I actually watch his stream all the time. I think he's streaming right now. Is this Lobo? He is from Portugal, and he has he's always in Cyrodiil as a DPS Dragon Knight, just killing people. Apparently, he has some really good builds.
Yeah. At least Magic at Dragon Knight. I'm not sure about Stamina Dragon Knight. It's like the most important thing what you have to do is keep your own buffs up and debuffs on your enemy. That's basically backbone of Dragon Knight, how you play Dragon Knight.
Yeah, he's buffing constantly. That's the part where I kind of miss like macros from like World of Warcraft, to make it easier to. I'm always having to remember to buff myself. I was happy when you showed me the add-on for automatically eating food because I never remembered to do that either. But I'm guessing that Zaz would never allow someone to have an add-on that automatically buffs you. Because that would interfere with gameplay.
Yeah. Well, apparently, I'm not sure, is it 100% compared to using macros, but apparently even using keyboard with macros, it's against terms of service.
Yeah, because it would automate gameplay. Because if it's, they want you to actually be pressing the buttons, otherwise you have an advantage over other players, and I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that automates gameplay and makes it so, you have to press less buttons than someone else who's playing the same game is an unfair advantage. But if everybody was allowed to do it, then it would be okay. But Zaz has to choose for that. Of course, they're probably concerned. It's like, well, some players would figure it out right away, and others never would, and that, again, unfair advantage. So either you send all the tunes to school, or just nobody gets to do it.
Yeah.
Now, it was a really, really good night for the Old Marine Dominion. I was telling OLG, it was kind of funny because during the day it seemed like the Daggerfall Covenant was dominating. But in the evening it was like, okay, all the AD people got off work and all at the same time and just took Cyrodiil. It's like at one point 80% of Cyrodiil was in AD hands. So it was so easy to just teleport around the map and grab a bunch of Skyshards. I mean, spoiler alert, I got 30 Skyshards all in one shot out of there.
Did you get those also behind scroll gates?
Sadly, no. I mean, AD had most of the map, but those gates were still up.
Ah, okay.
Because that's actually what I wanted to go and get, and I was hoping that we would get. Because I remember you telling me, you're like, "Oh, I had to make characters just to get those last Skyshards." I was like, "Haha, maybe I can do it all in one shot with one character." But we had most of the map, but not that far. So maybe another day. But you know, by and large, and I concentrated on grabbing shards that were out in Daggerfall and Ebonheart Pact territory, so that I left the ones that were safely in the rear back in the Eldamari Dominion section, so I can still come back and pick up even more. Um, it's just for a while we had those areas under control, I figured it'd be easier to get the ones that were out in contested territory.
Well, I don't know, does it work same way on NA as what AD, especially AD, does on EU? That there is basically, it's like they work in shifts. There is like a day shift and a night shift. There is so many times I have seen on EU that pretty much whole map is either red or blue, but next morning it's like 95% yellow. When people go to sleep, night shift wakes.
Eat travel by night, you know. Yeah, it
Yeah,
definitely pays to be a
those.
night owl in the Ultimary Dominion. And you're right. I think it is very shifty in the regard that it seemed like after a certain time, just AD just poured into Cyrodiil, and I was just watching keeps fall like dominoes. It was really impressive.
Yeah, and you should sometime do like when you have like a day off, you just little bit work with your sleeping schedule and get up and play in most bizarre time, so that AD has got like, I think you need 3 keeps to open both gates. You just go in, grab that Skyshard, and move on.
Whoops, I hadn't noticed
That's
that.
that's how I got my scroll gate Skyshards on
Oh,
Cyrodiil.
okay. Well, maybe we can do it as a group sometime. Okay. There we go. I was so into the conversation, I hadn't noticed that we've gotten to the end of the first segment there. So I was having a little fun with a delve boss, or I should say the delve boss was having fun with me, because you know, this little necromancer of mine, she's doing pretty well solo, but I ran into a delve boss that was definitely very obstinate, and so I got a little frustrated and took a break. Whoops, and there goes my phone. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take an important phone call real quick. That's the nice thing about the fact that we're actually watching a little recording here. So here I came across a Dolem, which I didn't, since I'm still new to Cyrodiil, I wasn't aware that they had Dolems inside Cyrodiil. So I thought, oh, nobody's around, everybody's in the city killing each other. I wonder if I could solo the Dolem. So I just decided to give it a try here and have a little bit of fun with the critters. I had read, one of the things that gave me the confidence to try is that initially I thought that Dolems were fixed in terms of the way that they are, but apparently not. I was reading that they automatically size their spawns to the number of players that attack them. So if it's just one player, then you get the minimum amount. If more players come in, more creatures spawn. And as a result, if you have a bigger group, you also get more XP because more spawns. And so that finally clicked for me when I read that. I was like, oh, that's why I always see these Dolem groups going around, so that they can farm experience points and get the maximum amount per hour as a group, rather than, you know, individual, where it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes you're lucky and there's a huge group there, and then other times, oh no, I'm in the phase of the world that only has like a couple of players, and it's me and one other person at this Dolem. So the whole time I was sitting here fighting these creatures here at this anchor, I was thinking to myself, oh, I hope I don't get noticed. Oh, and as you can see, Gala, I've been having a lot of fun with these Sigic Order abilities. In fact, they saved my little Necromancer more than once, between the damage shields and the healing ability. It turned out to be a good investment. I'm looking forward to getting the Sigic Order maxed out on more characters. Uh-oh. Are you AFK?
No.
I was wondering if I lost you.
Puny mortals, you think you've won?
No, I
Come,
wanted
my
to stream, but then I
slaves,
thought to myself,
destroy them.
there was an old saying from World War II, loose lips sink ships. So I thought, as much as I want to stream it, I shouldn't, otherwise I'll probably get stream sniped. And so I thought, yeah, I'll just go ahead and record all the fun and then play it back later. And since there will be drops, it looks like all weekend. Oh, by the way, fingers crossed that everybody who watches this stream gets a drop. So I'm hoping that everyone gets it. If you're seeing this on Twitch later in the future and it's not actually the Imperial Celebration, well, it's probably another drop weekend. So, or if you're watching on YouTube, well, sorry, no drops on YouTube. You have to watch live on Twitch, or well, sort of live whenever I have restreams. It's just whenever the event happens to have enabled drops for ESO streams. The fun part is that, and this leaves people scratching their heads sometimes. They're like, I don't understand, how are you getting drops if you're doing a rerun? You know, because Twitch has what they call reruns, where they will allow you to restream something that you have previously streamed to Twitch, but those don't count for drops, I don't believe, because they're just being played out of Twitch's archives. However, in my case, it always appears live because, well, it's always being streamed from a computer here. And Twitch can't really tell the difference between whether it's live or Memorex, as it were. As long as it sees it being streamed from an external source, it'll be treated as eligible for drops. And so I noticed that there were other channels that did that for other things, and Twitch seemed to be okay with that. So that's why I started saying, you know what, I can go ahead and flick the switch and play back a whole bunch of ESO gameplay and offer drop eligibility for the entire weekend for anybody who wants to park a browser here. Because I was always frustrated when I would try to get some drops, and I'd put it on some streamer's channel, and it was pretty good stream, but eventually, I need to retire to my lair. Then I'd wake up after having left the computer on all night, and it's not on a drop stream. And I'm like, I wanted my drops. How many hours have I been ineligible? Why didn't you raid somebody who actually is going to play ESO? Curse you!
Yeah. And looks like you don't really have that much competition. Looks like most of the streamers just stream and then they either raid or not. So
I've noticed quite a few of them don't raid now, and I was wondering, did something change? It used to be that was a thing where it's like, yes, let's go ahead and raid it. And there are quite a few streamers that still do. But there are a few that I enjoy watching, and they have really good streams, but they never raid anybody. I was kind of surprised. Let's see. Oh. On the plus side, while I'm here with all of you, I'm also in the background taking care of. I am drowning in surveys and treasure maps and all kinds of stuff. I've just got piles and piles of those things from just every day coming in and doing a whole bunch of daily writs and end up with all of these things just taking up space in my bank. So I'm trying to catch up on some of them. Oh, and I've been keeping up with on EU. I was going to mention, Gally, you said that you could help me out with some of the crafting. I was going to send you a screenshot in Discord of the craft store, which shows which things I have researched, and if you happen to have any extra items for the ones that you see that I don't have, it would be a big help for researching those.
sure.
Oh, thanks. Let's see. Whoops. Sorry, dealing with a little critter here that objects to me mining. Yeah, for these various different delves in Cyrodiil, at first I thought of fighting the bosses, but then I encountered that one boss that was, well, particularly, well, not very friendly. And so I just came to the decision. I was like, I'm going to run through these delves. I'm going to grab the Skyshard. I'm going to grab the lore book and get out. I'm going to ignore everything if I can. Some creatures demand attention a little bit more deliberately than others do. And those are the ones that I end up having to pay attention to. The funny thing was, though, is the load times. Wow, the load times. The server must have been really busy last night. I mean, there's no hard drives in this computer, and yet, the load time seemed to take forever. That was the nice thing about Star Wars: The Old Republic the other day is I get to take full advantage of the SSDs. It's like click done, click done, click done.
Yeah.
Whereas ESO, it's like wait for the server to acknowledge, wait for the server. It's like, but I'm ready. It's like, nope, server didn't say. I was like, wait a minute, is the server's name Simon? Simon says.
Yeah.
From the sides!
Oh, speaking of servers and frame rates, did you happen to catch the NVIDIA announcements?
About new RTX cards, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't watch, but I I heard that they are going to be when they are released cheaper than like flagship models used to be
Well,
before.
yes, in a way, sort of. In some ways, the prices are staying the same, but yeah, for the absolute flagship, it's Nvidia was talking about, and this shocked me because I'd seen leaks of the prices, and I thought, this has got to be somebody's pipe dream. But they were talking, let's see, I think $499 for the 3060. I think $599 for the 3070, and I think they said $799 for the 3080. But they said
How much for 3080?
I think they said $799.
Oh.
Yeah, and so that's why everybody's like freaking out, because they're still trying to sell 2080 Ti cards for $1,300, and Nvidia is just kicking them in the balls, and it's like, well, we're just gonna throw out the flagships here. Oh, and one thing, speaking of kicking the 2080 Ti in the nuts, Nvidia emphasized that even the 3060 will be faster than the 2080 Ti.
Yeah, I know. It's
So everyone who's stuck with those that either bought them recently or hasn't sold one yet is mad. It's like, effing Nvidia! Meanwhile, I'm over here like, woo! I might, the 3090, that's going to basically be the new Titan. They're talking that one will probably be like 1400, but...
yeah, most probably.
I'm thinking of actually getting one. Save my money. There was one really good theory as to why this is probably set out like this, is that because at first I thought, wow, that's really strange that the prices would be so low. Nvidia is not known for its benevolence. However, one site was talking about how Nvidia lamented with the launch of the RTX that most people took a wait and see attitude. They're like, well, I've already got this 1080 Ti. It's good enough. I don't see any compelling measurable difference. All the new cards had was a little bump in performance and RTX, which I don't care about, which nobody supported. So Nvidia has been working really hard to get people to support RTX, and generally it's still a worthless feature. It sounds nice. Sure, we have RTX in Minecraft, but 99% of all the titles that I play, you know what? I have one title in my library that supports RTX. However, it's not anything recent. It's Quake 2.
Quake 2. Yeah, I have that one too. That was so funny. Like Quake 2 RTX. Like, are you freaking kidding me?
Well, I have to admit, I'm curious to play through with RTX just to show what it looks like, but
I didn't notice any difference to old Quake 2.
Well, do you have an RTX card?
Yeah.
Oh, which one do you have?
I think it's 2060.
Oh, well, that should be fine for Quake. Well, yeah, because Quake 2 came out back when CPU speed was measured in megahertz. I think any card with RTX will play that one okay. I didn't realize you'd got an RTX card. Great.
Yeah, it came with this rig. But it's so stupid. It came with RTX 2060 and with i5 and 8 gigs of RAM. Like, what the hell?
It will get you by,
Doesn't
but
really
16's
make
better.
any sense.
Oh, and the 3090 has 24 gigs on the card.
Yeah. By the way, was this first time when Nvidia have like a 90 card? Because I don't remember any. Before they have always been stopped on 80.
No, I don't think they've
80.
ever called it a 90 before, but what they did mention is it's just a Titan. So we've had Titans before, so the SKU, I guess, has always existed. They've just changed the name because I guess they want to associate, because before it was like, oh no, Titan's not for gaming. But then you'd have all these marketing people like, oh no, Titan is totally for gaming. So now we're just giving up. We're like, we'll call it the 3090. Yes, it's for gaming. You know, you could do a little bit of like workstation stuff and rendering, but yeah, it's mostly gaming. Yeah, content creators are the ones that are the target market. No, but NVIDIA supposedly, I saw articles that were highlighted where they lamented that when RTX launched, they were stuck with a lot of them because people are like, I don't see anything compelling. So this time, it's like, okay, let's make it compelling. You know, we'll release them for a reasonable price. We're going to give you a whole lot of extra performance. We're going to put in a whole lot of memory. Although the 3090 has 24 gigs on the card for memory, it's not the first one to have it. I mean, there are Tesla cards that have had that in the past. It's just previously they cost a lot of money. Supposedly, because of their alliance with Samsung to create some custom chips for these devices, they've been able to bring down the manufacturing costs because of more reliable yields. That's why we're able to have the prices that we do, and hopefully, and these things will sell really well. Anyone who's been sticking around on a 900 series card has a huge bump, you know, for not too much money, especially those $500 cards. I have to admit, those look really tempting. Although, one sad thing is I see that NVIDIA, as part of this launch, I don't know if you caught it, finally said, you know what, people are not doing SLI enough, so we're just going to drop all SLI support from everything except the 3090.
No. Yeah. And where the hell you even need, like, 2 3090 cards on...
The only thing that I can think of would probably be if you were doing your own video animation. So it's like, yeah, I've created an animated movie. I put all my characters. Okay, time to render. You know, because the amount of processing, it would also come in handy with certain types of video editing that is CUDA aware. A good example would probably be Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere, which can leverage the CUDA cores in order to do things like, you know, render out video in various different formats. So, you know, if you are in a job where you're putting out a lot of content on a regular basis and it's all about deadlines, faster is better. But if you're not, you know, if you're like me and you're poor and the content goes out whenever, well, you know, the brick of doom sits in the corner and it's not very fast, but it can chug away and be dedicated to that job, and when it's done, it's done.
Did you watch Star Trek 6 already?
No, I still have
you
not
seen?
gotten to that one yet.
Oh, damn it. Because there was this one scene where ships, well, where Captain Perk, Emperor Perk said that, give me ramming speed. And I can't remember how long that basically, well, you take Enterprise and what the hell was that? Basically that ship from Crusade. Those two ships collide. And I can't remember how long.
Oh, the Excalibur. The Excalibur.
Yes. I can't remember how long he said that, like, it wasn't even one machine which rendered that, like, what, 10-15 second shot. It was like, what, 4 or 5 months. Well, I guess it
that
kind
would be an
of,
application for it.
I think it kind of makes sense that it took like, what, 7 years to make that movie.
Yeah, something like
But-
where you're making a movie or a television show, that's where you would see it. Although the big films now will use distributed rendering, so they'll have render farms where it's like, all right, in fact, a good example would be, I don't know if you're familiar with Kubernetes. So you'll have a Kubernetes
No.
cluster, and you'll say, all right, all you yahoos, I got this thing, I need it rendered, and the cluster will carve it up and sit there. And it's like, all right, you render this piece, you render this piece, you render this piece, and there might be 20, 30, 40 computers all chewing on this simultaneously, and then they collectively spit out the output. So more computers working on it simultaneously equals faster output. So,
Yeah,
if you have it come out and it's like, oh, crap, this is wrong, we got to re-render, Sonic the movie. Uh, you know, uh, how fast you can render directly affects how fast it comes out, especially if you catch a mistake very late.
as a matter of fact, I think they sold those machines which they rendered all those special effects. And I think they'll donate it at the beginning. Those computers, they didn't even have to buy them.
Oh, that's nice. Well, I'm gonna guess then they
Well,
were
it
probably
was
Xeon
kind of-
workstations.
It was kind of big deal that amateurs is trying to do space movie, which could be compared effects wise to like a Hollywood movies.
Well, that's a good thing is that now technology levels the playing field. The only difference between the big budget and the independent is imagination, because the any computer can render this stuff. It's just a matter how powerful is the computer and how long does it take. Smaller computer takes longer, but it can do the same thing. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Well, if you take all like acted scenes away from Star Trek 6 and check only those space scenes, I can't tell any difference if well, of course, on TV or movie, you cannot see Babylon 5 and Star Trek ships on same time on the screen, but that's basically only way you can tell that this is not so-called official production.
Well, at least with the original Star Trek ships, they were all models, and so I guess I'm used to seeing the details, so I can generally tell a model from a render. Babylon 5s, they were always a lot sharper, but they did amazing things with that video toaster and that Amiga back then. I go back and I'm watching them now, and although these are very old shows, what they achieved for that time period was just incredible. I can forgive the stars not rotating in the command center for.
I don't. It bothers me. It bothered me so much. Like,
Well, I mean, with today's technology, we could always go back and fix that. I mean, they seem to be retroactively, quote unquote, fixing everything else. I actually have the entire original Star Trek series on Blu-ray, and the funny part is that they went and they re-rendered all of the space scenes. But there are purists. I'm one of them where I'm like, I want to see it the way it was on television. So they actually give you 2 copies of every episode on the disc. So there's the original with the plaster model, and there's only, I think, 12 special effects shots total in the entire show, and they were just kind of reused over and over again. Whereas, for the Blu-ray, they've gone ahead and re-rendered all of the special effects space sequences with starships and whatnot, so it looks better than it ever did before. And on the Blu-ray, you get a choice. You're like, you want to see old effects, you want to see new effects, and I think that's a nice feature. We could do that with Babylon 5. It's like Babylon 5 Special Enhanced Edition. Re-render a few things and clean them up. You keep the spirit of it, the flavor of it. The models are the same; they just look better. The stars revolve, as they're supposed to.
It was so funny that when Star Trek 6 was originally released on, when this was made, 2005, on behind the scenes, all makers were talking about Star Trek. Oh, we loved Star Trek and blah blah blah. But when they made Imperial Edition, which was released by Universal, not even one single word about Star Trek. It was always referred as, I can't remember exactly, but it was like something in line like that famous space series or something like that. And I think that main producer who also played Captain or Emperor Perk said on some point that he always wanted to make like a edition where they have more like original designs. But come on, you can, if you just Google Imperial Star Trek into beginning Imperial Edition and check like a cover art for the DVD, you can see clearly that this spaceship is modeled after Enterprise. Yeah, they made some choices, but I think biggest reason why they changed models of those ships were that, of course, because Universal don't have rights for those models, they have to make their own.
Yeah, there's some things you can get away with when you're an independent that is making an homage or parody that you can't do when you're a big multi-billion-dollar corporation that's making something for profit. Actually, you know, speaking of homages and parodies, the one that I really like is the Orville, if you've seen any of that.
Oh, yeah,
you know, there were times that I forgot.
That series.
I would sit there and watch it, and I would forget that I was watching a different show. It felt like The Next Generation to me.
Yeah, I think you can. Let's see what it's called. I think there is like some sort of virtual tour where you can tour.
Yes, as a
inside
matter of fact,
of Orville. I downloaded it. I haven't tried that
Steam.
yet. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried it. It's actually kind of nice. It's basically just a model of the ship and just walking around.
You kind of could do same thing on Star Trek Voyager. Was it Elite? I can't remember. Was it Elite Force 1 or 2? I think there was like adventure mode where there was hidden like little statuettes which you could collect and find get like achievements.
I guess I never found them. I played through all of Elite Force. I got Elite Force 2, but I never finished the second one. The first one really grabbed me, though. I love the whole bit when you find the Mirror Universe Constitution class ship.
Speaking about mirrored universes, I really hope that there was, I think it was on Enterprise, where they made this alternate timeline.
Yes.
Where Jeff Cochrane killed those two Vulcans on First Contact, and what happened after that. That was, I really enjoyed those episodes.
Yeah, I got banned from George Takei's Facebook page for posting that.
Really?
Well, he had like a little thing. He's like, "Happy First Contact Day," and so I posted the trailer from Enterprise where it starts with First Contact and then with Cochrane shooting the Vulcans, and I put "Welcome to Earth," and apparently one of the mods did not like that, and so I can't post on George Takei's Facebook page anymore.
Oh, jeez.
But yes, I think that's the one achievement for Enterprise. Although Enterprise took a little while to get started, by the time I was actually into it, they canceled it. I think Star Trek Enterprise had the two best Mirror Universes episodes ever. I thought it was a stroke of genius that they linked it to an original series episode, which is the Tholian Web, where one of the Constitution class ships leaves the universe and goes through a rip in space-time. And so no one ever said, so where did it go? And I love the idea of what if it went to the mirror universe? It's like, oh, what a great idea. What a great idea. I would gladly watch a mirror universe series. Wouldn't that be great? So, you know, because right now Paramount, in case Paramount ever hears this or one of their cronies, you know, right now they're, you know, Discovery is a failure, Picard is a failure, Lower Decks is an extreme failure. Nobody wants these shows. They're all SJW garbage. There's no distribution internationally for Lower Decks. Nobody wants it. And Netflix and Amazon are not going to pay any more money for these bad, you know, Star Trek parodies. You know, if you want a good parody, license the Orville. But if you want to, I know Paramount wants to reboot Star Trek. You could get away with a total reboot of Star Trek if you just made a mirror universe series. You have, you know, you basically just have evil homages to everything. Well, who knows? Maybe Discovery is set in the mirror universe. Maybe that explains why it was so bad. That would be a great thing. You could say, yeah, remember all Discovery? That was the mirror universe of evil. Yeah, that's why it was like that.
Maybe whole Kelvin's timeline basically change everything to mirrored universe.
Well, you know, you could release a special edition of the first Star Trek JJ Trek movie, and when Spock comes through the portal, he's got like a goatee. It's like, ah, I didn't notice that before.
Yeah, it's so cliche that, oh, how do you know that someone is evil? He has a goatee.
Well, have you seen it in real life where it's like often the douchiest guy has the goatee for some reason? And it's not always the case, but it seems to be often enough that it's become a cliche.
Why Ronnie Cox don't have goatee then?
Good question. Well, maybe he just shaves it when we're not looking.
Oh yeah, that might.
In fact, if you ever played Command and Conquer, that's the main villain. You know, that's the first thing he did was give him a little goatee. You know.
Oh yeah.
Hey. Well. He didn't have a hair on his head except for the goatee. Yeah. Wanted to really emphasize it.
Yeah. I really love that. Damn it. Can't remember which episode it. Oh, it was alternate universe episode on SG1 where Apophis had a goatee. That was kind of unnecessary. Like, how the hell you make already ultimate evil character even more evil? Give him a goatee.
Yeah, he's like evil plus, you know.
And
now with extra evil.
Well,
you know?
I don't know. Did they try to go? Oh wait, Tilk also had like a little beard on. I think it was on.
Well, I remember he had like that little blonde strip on his lower lip for a while, and it's funny because
they stranded on some planet, and he decided, oh, I want a beard.
Well, and I remember there was an interview with the actor, and he talked about, he's like, by the end of the series, Tilk will have hair, you know, because he was tired of shaving his head for the role.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. I'm now on my rewatch on SG1. I have to pay attention on which point they didn't anymore use that goat paint on his face. Because that was kind of ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, that was part of the lore. And remember the whole spiel about, hey, how did you get that gold thing? Well, first they cut into your face, then they pour in liquid gold while you're
Ah,
awake.
yeah,
And then all of a
true.
sudden the gold paint disappeared, and I was like, what, did you like peel it off? Does it like wear off over time? Now that you're no longer first prime, do they not like touch it up for you every once in a while? So now all we see is like a scar in the shape of the little metal that was on your head. And there was no explanation given, so I was just always scratching my head on that one. To be honest, I wouldn't mind if somebody remastered it and just painted all of them gold. Yeah, just some consistency.
Because I can't remember any other Javas on a whole series which was also like a gold-faced. Braytag didn't have. He used to be above his first prime. Any other first primes didn't have golden skin. So what the hell was going on with Teal'c?
Oh, you meant the skin. I was just talking about the little metal on his forehead.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he
used to have the more goldish skin too. Yeah.
I think only episode where Teal'c didn't have his golden emblem was that I can't remember what the episode name was. Basically, plotline about this alien race who became in Earth, and they gave cure to everything, but their secret plot was to sterilize
Oh, the
the
Shin.
mankind. Yeah. That was only episode. There was also other one, but that was only dream sequence where I can't remember what was it, one of those episodes where Junior was dying and Teal'c was dreaming, but those were only dream sequence where he was playing like a fireman or something.
Oh, I remember
I
that.
didn't really like those like B storyline
Well,
episodes.
it seems like every one of these series, and it's just an observation, that where the characters wear a lot of prosthetics or makeup, they seem to always want to have one episode where everybody takes their makeup off for some contrived reason. Deep Space Nine did this also in a dream sequence where characters having like mental issues and hallucinates all the actors without their makeup, and it was kind of funny.
Though I liked that episode on DS9 because I was always wondering how that guy who played Ducat looked like without all that makeup. But
Well,
there
he's
was this
been in a
one.
lot of movies.
No,
If you ever saw,
I didn't find any pictures of him without that makeup.
yeah, for
Internet
example,
would.
if you ever saw the original Arnold Schwarzenegger version of Total Recall, he's in that
Oh,
without his makeup, and
really?
yeah, like he's like the chief of security for Mars, and so he gets in a argument with Michael Ironside when Schwarzenegger's character first arrives, and is like, "Open the doors." He's like, "I can't. They're all connected."
Oh, I guess I have to watch Total Recall again.
Yeah, he
I
has
have
a
it on
quite
DVD.
extensive filmography. In fact, I was just watching a film with him the other night. I was trying to see if OLG would want to watch it, but she's not into these things. It's kind of like if you've ever seen Rocky, where it's like,
Yeah.
Adrian. Well, this is like this outer space version of Rocky. It's called Arena, and that actor, darn it, I'm trying to remember. I know his name is Mark something. Is in that too, and so is Armin Shimerman. They're both in this.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It's one of these direct-to-video things back when we had videotapes. This is how old it is. But the idea is, and you know who is also in this movie? Claudia Christensen.
Ooh.
she is the fight manager for this human fighter, because supposedly it's this outer space station that has an arena, and it broadcasts fights all over the galaxy. And for 50 years, no human has been able to contend in the arena because all the other creatures would beat the hell out of them or kill them. And then one human with a dream comes to the station, and Claudia discovers him. And
Wait. Do you remember about on which year that movie is from? Because that
I've
sounds
got it around here someplace.
right.
I think it was probably 1989. But here, let me double check.
Okay.
Or 88.
Because that sounds kind of same plot as TKO on B5. Same plot.
Scatter!
But yeah, if it's on late 80s, then it's older than.
Yep, I'm right.
B5.
It was 1989. And here, let's see. Let me look up his. That's right. His name, Ducat's actual name is Mark Alemo. But yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. I've seen him as a supporting actor in a lot of B movies and all kinds of other stuff. So I'd seen him for years before seeing him on Star Trek. I just thought it was funny that both him and Armin Shimmerman and then Claudia Christensen are all in the same movie.
Wait a second. No, it wasn't Ducat's character. No, actor. Who I haven't found any pictures of. What the hell was that guy's name who was member of Obsidian Order and was like Taylor, very good friends with Odo.
Oh, he's also Garrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who played Garrick, again, a B-movie, star. I mean, if instead of AAA, he's like triple B. So if you ever saw, oh gosh, what was it, Hellraiser? Oh, that was a classic. And he's been in lots of other, really bad B stuff. Him and Jeremy Toombs. Jeremy Toombs is also a favorite of mine, because he, Brunt FCA. And then, of course, Wayoon. And then he also played, what was it? I'm trying to remember the name of the character from Enterprise that was,
Yeah,
an Andorian.
Andorian.
You
I think
pink skins.
only. I think only. By the way, is it pink skins or big skins?
I thought he said was saying pink skins, but maybe I'm remembering
Because
it wrong.
it's translated on Netflix over here. He's calling humans as big skins.
I think that's a mistranslation.
Yeah, I think it should be, but though, to be honest, if you translate pink skins to Finnish, it doesn't really sound that good. It kind of sounds stupid, to be honest.
There are some
So
things
I
that
think-
just don't translate well.
Yeah, it might be like a choice that it's kind
Speaking of which, but how do they do things like made-up words? Like, here we have some Spanish language stations, and I'm like flipping the channels once late at night because there was nothing to watch. And I came across Star Trek: The Next Generation. And I thought, oh, okay, I'll watch this. I didn't realize it was in Spanish. And and then, they start speaking, and the dub comes on. And, most of the stuff is in Spanish, but then there are certain words that just don't translate. So it's like, Señor Worf, ponga el phasers. And I'm like, what? Yo soy el Borg. It's like, oh, give me a break. This is terrible. But it's just funny because there's no Spanish equivalent to these made up words.
Yeah, well, one of the reasons why I don't really want to join a Finnish guild on ESO is, let's say, like when you are speaking about tanking, to me, it sounds so stupid in Finnish. And I don't know, there is some gaming related words which are so-called officially translated to Finnish, but I don't know, is there like an official translation for tank or tanking? Well, for tank there is, because you can use basically same word as you use for, you know, like a tank, military tank. But one which really bothers me most is healer. That I don't know which. Yeah, I prefer to when even most probably if I would raid with few Finnish guys, most probably I would like to try to get like a fourth member, which is foreign, so I don't have to. It's more natural to me to do dungeons or raiding speaking English than it would be speaking Finnish. It just don't work for me. I don't know why, but that maybe because I'm used to it.
We've corrupted you, have we?
Yeah.
That reminds me of that conversation with Muffin where he's like, yes, I'm from Belgium, but I hate English muffins. I was like, how can that be? What happened to you, man?
Well, there he came, his nickname.
Hopefully that didn't cause him to hate the muffins.
No.
I liked muffins until they started to call
I
me that.
haven't speak with that guy for, I don't know, 2 years or something.
How quickly the years go by. It seems like yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like yesterday when I found your channel and I came back from ESO because our PvP guild disbanded and I was trying to find people to play with, and you seemed like a nice guy, which you are. And I thought,
Oh, well,
okay, I'm gonna find this guy's guild. He's a YouTuber. Most probably there is tons of people to play with. And it's like almost 6 years ago.
Oh, has it been
Damn
that
it.
long? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about time flying. It does seem like
Yeah.
yesterday.
It's kind of ridiculous how fast these 6 years has gone by. Or maybe 5.5, but anyway, something.
Close enough. But before you know it,
Yeah.
it will be 6.
Yeah. Oh well.
Glad you're still having fun.
But-
It seems to go up and down where
Yeah.
people come and go, and who knows? Maybe we'll get an influx of new friends to join us in the future. By that token, for anyone who's watching this either now on Twitch or later on YouTube, everybody's welcome as long as you're not a jerk. And if you're ever in doubt, don't worry. People around you will tell you. So you should never have to worry. You're like, I don't know. Am I a jerk? It's like, well, do people often tell you you are? Well, they do. And I was like, you might be. You know.
Yeah. But speaking about you being a YouTuber, my favorite moment was that one time when we were doing heroics on Tromundgas, and that most probably like what 13-14-year-old come to. I think, did we use Discord on that point? I think we still used Ventrilo.
Yeah, I think it was probably been.
I can't believe that I'm talking with you. I love your content. Like, okay. To me, it was so weird. I don't know, because I don't think you as this big YouTuber who is like, people admire you, and I don't know.
No, I think as Skira put it probably best, he's like, you're just a guy who plays games. I was like, yep, I am. In fact, that was actually the intention behind starting my channel was, well, my original channel was about tutorials because people kept bugging me like, Joe, how do you do this? And I got tired of, showing them the same thing over and over again. I was like, you know what, I'll just make a video. But then when I made the second channel, I thought, hey, maybe I can use this as a recruitment and see if we find anybody else who's interested in having fun and gaming with us. And so I had a couple of friends and thought, hey, this would be a great way because, you can only spam general chat so many times. We're like, hey, anybody want to join my guild? But once the video goes up, it stays up there for years and people can see it. And so I still get people saying, hey, can I join you on the Beggaring Colony? I was like, that server don't exist anymore. It's Cyrodiil Jean now. Hey, can I see you on Cyrodiil Jean? I was like, okay, well, I've been kind of busy elsewhere, but sure, I can give you an invite. Although, like I said, I'm going to try to make Sundays my SWTOR days now. So I'll be back in SWTOR on Sunday. Even though this will be restreaming. See, that's the beauty of these restreams, is that the one of my servers will continue restreaming stuff. In fact, I'll probably chuck this video here that we're making into the restream queue, and I can play other things and record them while streaming on Twitch. We could even be blasphemous and stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time for different stuff. Well, of course, I don't know if my ISP will let me get away with that, because they're like, hey, what the hell? They seem to have more or less gotten over the fact that I stream, because for a while they would really mess with me. But I don't think I have enough bandwidth yet for 2 streams, at least not at the quality that I want. Probably have to get an upgrade at some point. In order to do that, I might finally monetize the channel. I haven't really bothered with it. I see all these other people are like, buy my t-shirt, and look, I got all these Amazon codes, and I'm like, I'm just here, if you want to have fun, join me.
Oh, speaking about Amazon codes, it was so pathetic. Was it rice gum or something like that? That this one big YouTuber, I think he said something stupid, and he was made this stereotypical apology video, and here I don't know what I could do. Here is some Amazon gift card codes and blah blah blah. Sad part was all those codes which he gave were expired. So that made...
So sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Your feelings mean to me this much that I will give you an expired Amazon. That sounds like this one woman who, she wrote gift checks to everybody at Christmas, and they all bounced. Because she had, I guess she wasn't paying attention. She grabbed an old checkbook, and nobody said anything except for one guy who emailed her and said, could I at least get my bounce check fee back? And then she's like, I wrote like 30 of those things and they all bounced, and nobody said anything except this one guy. Because everyone just figured, oh, you're such a scumbag. You did this to me on purpose.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of how world works now. That first thing when something like that happens is, well, it's all about negativity. I don't know why.
It's part of their machinations of evil.
I guess so.
Although personally, I subscribe to the theory that don't attribute to malice what can be explained by incompetence, and stupidity. So I always like to think, I was like, all right, is this just like a dumb mistake? Unless they went out of their way to do something, I'm just going to assume this is just like some dumb. But if it keeps happening, then it starts to go into the realm of evil. Aha, Joe, you fell for that again. Ah, you're such a fool. It's like, no, I wanted to think good things of you. Now I don't.
So, if I didn't learn anything on my time on mandatory military service than on Finnish army, you cannot do any. There is no accidents. When you screw up, you always do it on purpose. There is no explanation ever. And I kind of learned it. I don't know. Can you say it like a hard way? Every evening there was like everyone had to on certain time. I don't know, is there like a proper term for this, but everyone was there on barracks and everyone was called out, that everyone was present. And of course you couldn't laugh there. And I think I smirked or something like that. I didn't even laugh. And one of my superiors was like 2 inches away from my face and yelled to my ear, "Why you did that?" And with straight face, I said, "I did it on purpose." Like I was taught. And that guy cracked up completely. And that, let's say there was some stuff from what comes out from 3 holes from people's faces on my face. So, and I kind of, with my, maybe I can admit, kind of snarky answer, I got quite easily. I didn't get any punishment that I did something wrong, because technically I got exactly right answer to that question, even when it wasn't true.
So this is an evening inspection, or?
Yeah.
Starting to sound like a scene from, ever see a Bill Murray movie called Stripes?
No.
Well, it's about him and John Candy joining the army. Good movie. Oh, you know who else was in it? Was what's his name? He played the. I don't know if you ever saw a show called Night Court. He played the prosecutor.
Well, if someone mentioned
and Harold
John
Ramis was in it too.
Candy, oh yeah, let's put Dan Aykroyd there also, and we have a full house.
I don't think Dan Aykroyd was in that one.
No, most probably, but yeah. As a matter of fact, I watched Ghostbusters 1 yesterday and started to watch second one.
The Secret of the Ooze.
But it was already, yeah.
Or wait a minute, no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a Teenage Mutant Ninja movie.
That's Turtle. Yeah, that's Turtle's movie.
Sorry, getting my 80s movies mixed up here. Or, well, actually, I think maybe that was The Secret of the Ooze was 90s.
Yeah, most probably.
Because I
Most
remember
probably.
the Turtle movie came out
Maybe
right at like
one.
1989, I want to say.
Yeah, most probably something like that.
You know, the funny thing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is at the time I was out of the country and I never saw any advertisements for it. And I had never seen the comic book, and I'd only heard of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because I was browsing this gaming magazine where they would sell, board games like Dungeons and Dragons, and they had like little miniatures. And in the back, there was this mention, but they had no pictures. It just said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I was like, what the hell is this? And they were lead figurines that were being sold, and but no photos, and I didn't know what it was from. And then I'm in Hong Kong at the time, and I go by and I see this marquee, on the billboard. It says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. I was like, oh, I'm curious now. So I went and saw it with Chinese subtitles. I think I was the only person not from Hong Kong there. The audience really, really liked that movie.
Yeah, I think I also. Yeah, I saw it first on movie theater. I'm not sure, is there more? I think there is 3 of them. I also saw Secret of the Ooze,
I don't
but
think I
on
saw the
third
third one.
one, I think on third one also I went to theater. I think I didn't wait for VHS release, but I'm not 100% sure for third one. But I didn't really like that much of third one.
Okay, I got so into our conversation there. I guess my little Cyrodiil adventure ended. And so, as a matter of fact, here's another part of it. So I took a break because it's good to stretch the legs every now and again. Well, G's going to get mad at me for not taking a break now. And matter of fact, you know what? Here, let me go ahead and take a break. Otherwise, she'll come in later. She's saying, "I watched your stream. I watched the replay. You were on too long." I was like, "Oh, okay." And she's right. She wants me to be safe, so I'm gonna get up and take a break for a few minutes, and then I'll come back and we can see more of running around in Cyrodiil last night and grabbing all those sky shards. Fingers crossed that this trend continues. So if you've been hoping to get the sky shards in Cyrodiil, this is probably a perfect time to do it. I was actually debating doing the same thing on EU. Is running around there and pick him up. I'll get them on one character, and I'll pay the crowns to unlock them on the others, so I don't have to do it twice. Whoops. Wrong graphic. There we go. There we go. So I will be back in just a few minutes. I was just looking at the timer, realizing, oh, I've been sitting here for a couple of hours. Better stretch my legs for a bit. Oh, and this is a good opportunity to grab something to drink and get snacks and yum yum.